Hi guys, I'm Red and this is Ace. As you can tell from the title of this video, we are going to be talking about something a little bit different than this channel usually talks about. As most of you know, I am a service dog advocate and I also advocate for veterans because being one myself, I like to educate the public on different types of etiquette and things like that when it comes to service dogs. But one other thing that I do is I am also a beginner entrepreneur. I am developing multiple streams of income for myself, and I am trying to very gradually share this knowledge with people because I really don't want to give people the wrong impression. I am not wealthy whatsoever. I am not going to teach people how to get wealthy, but I do want to teach people how to at least get started because I feel like getting started is probably the hardest part. And I didn't see a lot of other beginners out there on YouTube, so I wanted to go ahead and try to dabble in that myself and see if maybe I can't help somebody else who could possibly take the experiences I've had and the mistakes that I've made and run with it. One thing that I tried with Shopify dropshipping was actually print on demand. I've been doing a lot of research on it on my own and I felt comfortable with trying it. Now, I'm a computer networker. I am not a graphic designer whatsoever, so I actually did outsource help. And I went on Upwork, I went on Fiverr, and I had people help me build the website. I got my domain. I have really SEO friendly descriptions and titles. I had a graphic designer help me with a lot of the t-shirts, and I even did water bottles, and I even did coffee mugs. And the designs looked really, really good. I'm actually very happy with those designs. The problem I found with print on demand was that a lot of people already have some sort of following when they are starting a print on demand. And that's why I get a little frustrated when I see a lot of YouTubers who say, I tried Shopify dropshipping and these are my results in 2 weeks. Yes, they've made a lot of sales, they're making a lot of money, they do extremely well, but they generally already have a following. They already have a network. They already know the Instagram influencer that's going to be able to promote their products. I don't put a lot of stock into those videos because I don't feel like they're relevant to somebody who is just starting out with very little to no following. With that being said, I decided to deactivate the store temporarily until my own following gets a little bit bigger because I really do like it. I'm very proud of it and I think it's got a lot of potential, but it's just not ready yet. So we're gonna put it on the back burner and we'll come back to it in the future. The next thing that I tried was a one product store because this to me was the best option for somebody who has no following and is just starting out. So I created a second store using the same team that I've been working with previously. And these people and I had already been partners for 2 months. So we already had established trust and they knew what it was that I wanted. So we did some product research, we found a good product and we advertised it and it did pretty well. So I was able to take that one product store and gradually begin to add multiple products that were related to that particular niche. And it started to do well. It didn't just break even, but it actually made me a profit. And I was very happy with that. But the learning curve was expensive. I'm going to be very transparent and tell you guys exactly how much I spent. So between having a graphic designer, between purchasing a domain, between hiring a web designer, between hiring somebody to help me set up ads, between hiring a virtual assistant to help promote things on different social media platforms, I spent easily $1,700. Now, before you flip out, This was money that I had already saved for many months and put back in preparation to this, because I knew unless I did everything myself, which I didn't have the experience to do, it was going to be expensive. And to be honest, I wound up saving a little bit because I did try to do certain things myself. And I've been learning to try to be more self-sufficient. I like the team that I work with, and don't worry you guys, I plan to keep working with you in the future. But I am all about self-sufficiency, and it's important for you to understand how everything in your store works, so that if you wind up working with somebody in the future who isn't quite doing things the way that you want, you'll know it, and you'll know exactly how to tell them what to do. So that way that you can have your store be run the way that you want. You can have the ads be set up the way that you want. Speaking of Facebook advertisements, a lot of what I see on YouTube is people who are teaching others how to set up traffic campaigns. Now, traffic campaigns are important because that's how your Facebook pixel is going to collect its data. You want to let that traffic campaign run for a good 3 to 4 days. Don't bother it, just let it do its thing. The only time I would ever interfere with a traffic ad is if your cost per click or cost per result is over $2, because that means the Facebook ad has to work extremely hard to get that person to click on it, and that's essentially not what you want. It's inefficient and it's costly, especially if your daily budget is $5. What I wanted to explain to people was that Ace dropped his toy. What I wanted to explain to people was that when these traffic campaigns are finished, after those 4 days, you want to be sure to set up a conversion campaign, because that is going to reach into your pixel data, and Facebook is going to now target people who are more likely to make a purchase. These are people who have made previous purchases. These are people who have maybe already seen your ad in their news feed and have thought about it, but didn't quite commit. Now, I would let that ad run for at least 7 days if you can afford it, and give it a fair chance. Be sure to look at the demographics very carefully and do your own research about what sort of audience that ad is putting itself in front of, because in the end, that's how you're going to make sales. As nice as it would be to promote your product to everybody, you can't please everybody. And that's where a lot of people are making these mistakes and losing sales. It's okay to have a more narrow audience. If you have a product that is more geared towards the male audience, don't be afraid to just target the male audience. If you have a product that is geared towards a single mother, don't be afraid to continue to promote that product only to single mothers, because in the end, the product is for them. It's to help their lives. That's another thing that I want to go over with people, is when you're finding this product, make sure that you're finding a product that solves a problem, that is inexpensive, ideally won't break in a few months, and something that is lightweight, easily stored away, and just pleasing to the eyes. This isn't a must, of course. It's your store, your product. Find what works for you. But these are just the results that I find have worked the best for me. One other tip that I want to give to you guys is this can be a very expensive pursuit, especially if you don't save and budget. That is probably the number one most important tip that I want to give to you guys, is budget and stick to it. Don't be in a hurry. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You don't want to take $5,000 and blow it all in the first month and expect to be a millionaire by the end of the month. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen. It would be nice if it happened, but trust me, it probably will not work out that way for you. Be prepared to play with this for many months. Say you have $200 to spend on this month. Don't go over that $200. Your store's not going anywhere. Yes, be prepared to pay your Shopify subscription in that month, but in the end, if you stick with it, it's gonna be worth it because this can work. It does have potential, but you can't rush this process. You have to be patient, and this isn't gonna be like a coin slot where you just throw in money into the Shopify machine and it ejects $50,000 for you. This is something that you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fail, but I wouldn't even call it a failure because to me, that is an opportunity to grow and to learn. And that's probably the most important thing. This is about grit. This is about persistence. And this is about being willing to figure out when it's time to stop everything and do an entire facelift of your store and products, or it could just be time to find a new product. And the Shopify community will help you. You can go on an entire thread that is called Review My Store, and other people are gonna come in and they're gonna tell you, hey, when you're posting these products, your product listing is slightly out of alignment and it's an eyesore and you need to fix it. Or they'll tell you, hey, your store is taking X amount of seconds to load. It's too slow, and that can drive off traffic. So be prepared and willing to listen to these people because they're there to help you. They're not gaining anything by giving their opinion to you for free. So you guys, that's all for today's video. I hope I helped at least one of you out there to avoid making any of the same mistakes that I did, because they can be costly. But thank you all who have taken the time out of your busy days to give this channel a view. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Please subscribe, it really helps me out. And I hope all of you stay safe and best of luck.